Hi everybody, it's Jen. Welcome to Yoga Express. I'm gonna switch my lights a little bit so I get some more light on the yoga. I hope you are doing well. We're gonna get started, so make sure you have your yoga mat. Make sure you have your space. Make sure you're good to go. And I'm gonna hit my head on the camera. All right, so let's just make sure we are live. All right, awesome. So let's get situated. Let's have a seat. Let's breathe. Let's do all those fun things, which are hard to do. So sometimes you can only get one or two. Sometimes you get it all. Let's take 5 slow breaths together. Okay, so we are going to grab a yoga strap if we have one. If we don't, it's not the end of the world. And if you are unfamiliar with a yoga strap, it's basically just a string. You can use a piece of rope, you can use a belt. Those are the easiest things to grab. Dog leash, something like that. And if you can't, don't worry about it, not a big deal. We are going to lay it on our backs. And if you have an actual yoga strap, you're going to open up this little loop at the end and loop it around your foot. If you don't, just loop whatever you can around. Yoga straps should be really cheap. If you're finding something for super expensive, don't get it. They should be only a couple dollars. But we're laying on our back. So a lot of people will literally just like go to Goodwill and buy a belt that maybe like one of those belts that has the ability to loop. Something like that on a pair of khakis or something like that. That's going to be the easiest thing for you and cheapest and self-sufficient. All right, so we're just pulling that leg back. And if you don't have anything that you can grab today, and you can't, this is just way too far for you to reach, no worries. Sit on up and reach for it. So, and then let's bring that leg out to the side. And if we're seated, just bringing that leg out to the side as well. The only difference between seated and laying down is obviously the center of gravity. So we have gravity pushing a little bit different. So it's going to feel a little different, but we're still basically doing the same thing. And let's come on over the top. And come back through center, and let's change out those feet. All right, so bring that leg up. And if we are wrapping it around our leg in some way, shape, or form, make sure that it's around the actual foot, like the arch of the foot, so you don't want to ever have it slip off. That would be bad news. We don't want that. And out to the side. And let's remove that strap. And we're just gonna kind of chuck it on off to the side. So let's stay here on the ground. Let's bring those knees out to the side. Let's bring those arms up overhead into a cactus type of shape, pushing those back of the hands into the mat or the floor, and just letting those knees open up to the side of each mat. Open up each side of the mat. And let's bring those hands so they're facing the mat itself. So they may not touch 100%. Mine are kind of gaping a little bit, but they may be flush depending on your situation. Can you get your shoulders and your hands flush? Maybe, maybe not. If I bring my arms out straight, I can. I don't have to bend in. So everybody's different. Do your best. Relax and breathe. And then remove those hands and then push the knees together. Grab behind the thighs and let's rock and roll 5 times and then sit up. 3, 2. We got 1 and we're going to sit up. All right, we're going to bring those legs out in front. And I am going to grab my little things that I can do so I can actually do things with my wrists. You don't need these, I just need these. All right, so I'm going to attempt, we'll see. This may not work either way, but I'm gonna try. All right, so we're bringing those legs out in front, toes pointed up. Your hands are gonna be down at your side, and what I want you to do is lift those glutes up off the ground. So let's see, I don't know what's gonna happen, we're gonna try. That's a negative. Okay. I'm gonna come onto I'm gonna do my fists. I'm just gonna lift up and then come back down. So let's do 5 more, just like that. And the 5th one, we're gonna hold it up. All right, let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4. And the 5th one, we're gonna hold it up and hold. Lift a leg and switch. Switch. And switch. I only got 1 more left in me. Switch. And switch. And drop it down. Ooh. Swing those legs around. It's probably a lot more comfortable if you had to do it with your palms, but not in my cards, not today. Alright, so let's tuck those toes under. Let's sit back and let's come into a toe stand. Let's bring those hands to heart center. And bring those elbows out to the side. Two more breaths here. If you're starting to get a little shaky, that's okay. And then release. Now, if you need to touch down to come to standing, totally cool, do your thing. Try to touch down as little as possible. See what happens. So you're just going to kind of shift, find your center of support, and then come on up. And if you need to tap down, do so. Ooh. Coming on up. If you did a lot of legs yesterday, ooh, you're going to feel it. All right, coming on up, shaking out those legs, especially if that was a little tight. All right, we're going to bring those hands back to heart center. We're going to sit back into a chair pose. So notice my back is nice and flat and straight. I'm not hunched over. Let's twist one leg. If you want to bring that elbow to that thigh, feel free. Come through center and the other way. Come through center, hold. We're not going up yet. We're still down here. And twist. And the other way. Back to center one more time, hold it here. If If you want to make fists instead of having your hands together, feel free. And twist, last time. And other way, twist. Come back through center, drop those hands, and roll it on up. Nice and slow. Beautiful. All right, and bring those feet nice and wide as far as you feel comfortable. Today, just have our hands on our chest to start. Bend those knees a tiny little bit and just lean it forward. If you want to bring those hands back behind your back, that's fine too. If you want to bring those hands in front of you, that works as well. Whatever seems best for you is what you're going to do. Come on, back on up. All right, we're going to do that 5 more times, and we're going to probably hold for about 3 breaths, and give or take. I'll let you know when it is. So just as long as it's nice and slow and consistent, that's what we want. So down, hold, breathe, 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 and then coming back up. I want you to have a little bit of a bend in your knees. If you need to have more of a bend in your knees to have that nice flat back, you do that. You bring your legs farther or closer apart, and they can be kind of a pointed out toes to the corners of the mat, or they can be more straight in. I like mine to be a little towards the corners. So I'm going to do the first couple with my arms out, and we'll see how it goes. You do you. All right, so I'm going to bring my arms out, and I'm going to move forward. And then use your body. Come on up. Squeeze those glutes. And down again. And come on up. And down again. Come on up. I'm going to do those last 2 of those arms behind my back. You can do you. Do what you need to do. Lean on in. Come on up. We got 1 more left. Lean it on down. And back up. Beautiful. Lean one side. If you had your toes pointed to the corner like I did, I'm going to bring my leg in, bring my foot in, so it's nice and flat on the inside arch. I'm just going to lean in and get a really good stretch going. Shoulders back and down. All right, come on up. Let's switch it up. Other side. Come on in, heel toe those feet in. Come to the front edge of your mat. Bring those arms up, back bend. If you feel like it's a good idea for you today, and swan dive down, or going right back down to the ground. Bring those hands down, bend those knees generously, and then come back to your toe stand here. So a lot easier to go down than to come up, I'll tell you that much for right now. All right, so we're gonna stay here for a second. Turn that head to one side. And then look the other way. Come back to center, bring those hands down, and just lean it on back. All right, so we're gonna do cow legs, which we haven't done for a while. And a reminder, I don't do them well, but this is your workout, not necessarily mine. So I'm gonna do my best to stretch, but it's not gonna look like yours, and guess what? That's okay. All right, so, and if you would like to, you can sit on a block. So I'm gonna try that and see what that does for me today. So what cow legs are is you're gonna have knee stacked on top of knee, give or take. So we're gonna bring those legs kind of cross-legged and try to get them on top of each other. So I'm going to bring my left leg, kind of tuck it under. And then I'm literally leaning forward, so like half my butt is on this walk. And then switching the other one over, so I'm here. Now, I can adjust as I see fit. Get in your position that works for you. So, my bottom knee is here, my top knee is here. Yes, technically they are stacked, but they're not on top of each other, and that's okay. And if you decide that you don't want to be on the block, once you kind of get situated, you can transition off. So I find that that's a helpful way to just be up higher when you need to, and then lower yourself down. I find it works well. All right, so I'm just gonna hold on to my feet, and depending on what situation you got going on, of course, if this is irritating to your hips, your knees, or your ankles, please don't. But if you want to encourage a little more stretching, you can lean forward. Up, let's uncross those legs and get ready to cross the other side. So I'm just going to sit back on my block. I'm going to bring my right leg in and my left leg over. And of course, they're going to look different, so don't worry. Adjust as you see fit, and then I'm going to block one off. Other side is a heck of a lot tighter, and I'm sure you can see. That's okay. I'm acknowledging that it's tighter. Can't really deny that it's tighter. But guess what? I would not have known that today if I hadn't done this pose. So, more knowledge to me. All right, if I want to lean in, I can, and we're just going to breathe nice and slow. Cross those legs. Ooh. All right, I'm going to bring those knees together. I'm just going to sit back up because it's here. All right, so I am holding on to those feet, giving my feet a little love, and leaning on in. Let's bring those knees in. Let's give ourselves a little hug, drop the head. And we're gonna do some abs. So if you're like, Jen, please no abs today, if something else you wanna do, feel free, please do so. If you have no other reason, there's no good excuses for you to skip abs, we're gonna do abs with me. So we're gonna do about 5 minutes abs, and then we'll do our stretches, and then we'll go into our Shavasana together. So if there's anything you need for your Shavasana, make sure you have it near you. Otherwise, we're on our backs. We're hanging out. We're dropping those knees to the side. We have those hands behind our head, and we're doing 10 crunches. Let's go for 10. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, switch those legs. And let's go for 10. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, Now let's bring those knees in. We'll lift those legs up into our tabletop. And let's crunch for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, release those legs. You can hold on to those knees for a second if you want. Now we're going to bring those legs back to tabletop. We're going to kick out and switch. So you can decide, is your head on the floor? Are your hands behind your head supporting your neck with those elbows out and your chest up a little bit when the neck up off the floor? You decide. All right, come to your starting position. Let's go for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Oh, relax. All right, we're gonna do one more set. You can just stay with what we just did. Words are hard. Or you can bring your legs more here. Now, perfect world, my legs would be straight, but as you all know who've been here for a while, they're not today. So I'm gonna do my best. So you can either keep those hands back behind your head with the head lifted. You can keep your head on the ground, or you can do more like the Pilates type of thing where you're here and you're holding and holding, but you're making connection. You're not holding on for dear life. Okay? So this will be our last app, and then we'll get ready for our Shavasana. So pick where your starting position is, and let's go for 1, 2, 3. I'm just holding on, just barely. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Beautiful. Bring those legs down, drop those knees to the side, and let's just twist open the other way. And then the other direction. Come through center. Grab behind those knees, roll up really quick. Drop one knee to your side and one knee in front. Bring that foot up so we have a nice 90-degree here. We're not tucked in. We're open, and then the same thing for the other side. So let's bring that arm up and over. And if you'd like to drop down onto the forearm and really open up, feel free. All right, come on up. Let's push it out to the other side. Making sure we have those 90 degrees. All right, coming up and over, or dropping down a little lower and opening up. All right, come on up. Let's roll into that back and come into our Shavasana. Remember, if you want to sit up for Shavasana, you can. And I think that might be me today. So I'm gonna hang out here. So we're going to end our Shavasana together. So we're gonna do it for about 2-3 minutes, and then we'll transition on. So find your position. can either stay in your Shavasana for as long as you like, or you're going to slowly start to move around. If you're sitting up, you can just kind of sway side to side. If you're on your back, you can wiggle your fingers and your toes and decide, how do you want to get back up today? And maybe the decision is, I'm not ready to get back up for 5 more minutes, and that's cool. Or you may have other things to do today that you don't want to, but you know you have to, so you're going to do it anyway. So let's all meet with those knees tucked in, giving yourself a big hug one more time. Take your time getting there. And then just tuck those toes under, and let's just lean on forward a little bit. Come back to that toe stand. This time, definitely put those hands on the ground. And straighten those legs to the best of your ability. And roll on up to standing. We are done. Another Yoga Express in the books. Have a great day. Remember, all these are available in addition to all the other yoga practices we have, and desk stretch sessions, which are pretty much just 10-minute mini yoga sessions, available on YouTube.